Music, and we're going. And we're encoding frames. Wonderful. Um, Pause that. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. Tonight we are playing Tales and Twists. This is the Stars and Coins group and session 23 of their campaign. We have a full party tonight, and everything you're going to see is live storytelling. If you're under the age of 14, stop. Talk to your parents. Recap for this group. We are currently in the nation of Red Axe in the city of Southcrest. The party has sworn themselves to a circle of Wanderkin, and the Wanderkin are chaotic and mischievous beings, and they are trying to subvert the current government of Red Axe and create the conditions for a rebellion to arise. Everybody in the party has their own reasons for being a part of this. Easy is trying to start a rebellion and not just create the conditions for one. Laya is searching for is trying to use the situation to find something to cure her wife.
Put myself in a position of power.
Yeah, Krishna has vested interest in the one of the communities that has been the hotbed of these activities, and Hope is here traveling.
Yeah.
So as we have been going through this story, we currently find ourselves on the 14th of the 12th of Servant. And the party was sent to the city of Southcrest to survey the political situation so that they can better help come up with a plan on how to keep causing those little bursts of chaos throughout the region. The pressure is turning up, and the Red Axe government is responding in tow. The party has spied on this city's leader. The city's leader has been consistently declining and not allowing the alliance to set up a strike camp in her territory, and has been kind of holding back the floodgate for the two more rebellious city-states that are a part of Red Axe. Things have finally moved in a position to be out of her control, and against with or without her blessing, that strike camp is going to be set up on the 14th in 2 days. Specifically trying to get back control of the things Alarel has been destabilizing. The party was plotting and planning what their next move was before a member of the Crimson Crusades came to deliver a message directly to E. See, and hold on, I want some music for this, because that's going to make it baller. Fire song, there we go. A messenger was sent to deliver a message directly to Easy. He has been accused of treason and has the opportunity to plead for mercy in Crimson Keep. There is a contact in Barbador that Easy has been buying supplies from, and the contact has been interrogated, and after a week of interrogation has given up his network of people that he has been selling explosives to, supplying weapons, all types of things that would generally make it hard for the Crimson Crusade to keep a hold of Red Axe. Rather than going and pleading his case and his innocence that he doesn't have, Easy suplexed the messenger into the ocean and had a pretty dirty battle with her before dispatching her under the waves.
Hey, now, let's shout out the fact that Laya did the dispatching.
Yeah, I'm just using very pretty words for something that was what I would describe as delightfully brutal. It's like something that's brutal, but you put a little daisy on top of it. And so,
murder goblin.
rather than heading into town, the party has swam through the obsidian spikes that make up Southcrest and have found themselves in front of the Lone Siren's den. I don't know if you all came here out of convenience or you're just looking for a place to lay low for a few days, but in either case, Easy has been invited to be the Lone Siren's apprentice as they join in the hunt for the High Judge together. So it is currently the 12th of Servant. I think last session we ended right after Marissa ate lunch, and I guess this is worth noting to you all. Marissa has essentially elected to use you all as an apology to Raster. She told you what was going to happen, that camp is going to be set up, and that she is sorry. And offered to give you guys luxurious accommodations back to Farport to deliver the message to Raster. So I don't know if you guys are going to hide out for a few days or whatever you want to do, but it's the afternoon of the 12th of Servant. You all stand outside of the entrance to the Lone Siren's den. There are moving from this obsidian, there are these marine crystals from the deep ocean that have been planted here, and soft dripping water onto them causes them to glow with soft light. Arranged, they make a walkway around and into the den. You can hear soft singing and see the shifting colors of light refracted against water up ahead. What would you all like to do?
Can I make like a recall check on these like crystals to know like what sort of like purpose they serve?
Heck yes. Go ahead.
Arcane?
I will allow arcane or ancient history. Or, I'll allow arcane or recent history because recently Mari have come to the surface and have started blending with surface culture, and these things are a little bit more common than they used to be.
I will do it for the arcane because I get a +2 to checks with that.
Okay.
Damn. I will never roll good. 4.
A 4 gets you to the first tier of common knowledge.
Yes.
Congrats.
Yeah. You are, well, I'm wondering if I change the tiers of this. I'll move you to uncommon because I read the perceive action. Whoa, I wrote it. And it says I have the ability as the hostess to change the tiers based on stuff. Found that out last week.
Nice.
I'm not going to shift it too much. I'm just going to put it in tiers of 3 instead for you. And I'll move you to uncommon. As far as you're aware, These do come from Marai societies deep in the ocean. Marai can't write on papyrus or things in the water, and these are one of their ways of recording knowledge. As to what is in here or on here, it is not something that you're able to tell.
Alright. I just look at the crystals very interested, and look back at the Easy. It's like, oh, should we go, I guess meet your master? If you're the presence now.
And I will say, as hostess to players, these are becoming somewhat more common in the world, so if your character knows what they are, I'm okay with that. If you as the player know and your character knows, that's fine.
I have zero idea.
I've only spoken
That's fair.
glug glug for 24 hours. I'm not gonna assume that I know what this is.
Can I go foraging in the water?
You've left the water. You're
Dang it.
you're in
Never
a small underwater cave. You're in a cave with an air pocket.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea what these crystals are.
That's okay. They're basically ways that they can communicate, since like paper doesn't really work underwater.
Should I know what these crystals are? Okay.
But easy. Should we go meet your teacher, the master, whatever you call them?
Yeah, I mean, it feels smart.
You sound reluctant.
A messenger from, Crimson Keep just showed up, and we as a collective unit had to drown and stab her to death. I'm still kind of recovering
Oh,
from,
is that what happened?
the whole. Oh, no.
I didn't know what was happening over there. I saw you guys struggling with something. It's weird.
Don't worry about it.
Big fish.
Okay, she didn't put up that much of a struggle.
Poor fish.
Yeah, poor fish.
Alright. Well, let's go say hi.
Let's go. First off, I'm going to touch all of you. You all have blessings. You can all breathe underwater now. You're welcome.
I understand that you like giving out your blessings, but do you ever worry that your god's going to get upset when you give it to me?
I don't
No.
question it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I run a good thing while you still have it.
I'm God's chosen. I can do no wrong.
I almost believe that.
Until she shows up to actually scold me herself, I can do no wrong.
Was she your mother?
So you all are entering the Lone Siren's domain.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stepping
Let Easy go first.
stepping through the cave into this creature's home, there is a soft blue and white light that illuminates this cave. It is radiating out from in the center of the cave. There is a sphere of undulating water that is floating near the ceiling, and white moonlight shines from it. Around the sphere, there is a circle of spirits just slowly drifting, forming a ring around it, almost into one continuous stream of this ghostly white light. You hear the lone siren. She is singing and humming to herself on the other side of her cave. Down here, there are halves of shipwrecks making up the walls of her cave, there are the bones of massive creatures. There are more of those crystals spread about and lodged into the ground. And just everywhere, there's just these little tiny wisps of white light floating about and moving through the trophies that she has hunted. The second you all step in, about a dozen of these spirits are going to come down from this floating ring. There's still enough to keep it like a consistent stream, but they all crowd around you with curiosity and interest. The lone siren, Savia, looks up at you all. She is mostly humanoid currently, as you have seen her as half spirit, half person before. And standing before, or rather sitting before you, seems to be a mostly Marian woman. She looks at all of you and says, "You'll make a good apprentice," in Omani, of course. "You make a good apprentice. You waste no time."
Yeah, well, why waste time? As a mortal, I only have so much of it.
My waters know death that you have seeded, but there's no soul to follow. What happened?
Oh,
Looks at Laya.
I kind of just like wave a little bit, like hello, nice to see you again.
If you want to move through these spirits, they are not restraining you. They're more so just very interested in you. They will part as you move through them. They
want to
are
play with the
completely
spirits.
ghostly.
I will also respond in Omani because it's like she told me to learn the language the last time I talked to her.
Yeah, and hold on, I have a note because Easy's hair says something.
Yes, it says please talk to me. Also, please don't let him be the
Oh, but no,
apprentice
easy.
I want to
Come on.
learn.
Or along with me.
I don't read glug glug, so I just feel like I have pretty hair.
Yeah, I'm looking for reach out to Laya again. That's what it says. Hope has this braid, Laya has this braid, and Easy has it in a dream catcher.
Yes, because he doesn't have enough hair.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Keep it tight up here.
I'll be running my the spirits.
Yeah, seeing essentially a billboard in Laya's hair, Hope's hair, and Easy's hair in the Dreamcatcher, she's going to gesture to her trophies, looking at Laya and say, "Are you a fan of my work?"
What are like her different trophies?
There are so this is a huge sea cavern stretching back from here, and a like small lake behind here. There are halves of entire galleons down here, or like quarters of ships. There are people speared to the wall. There are giant sharks the size of a wagon here. And I think she'll walk to the center of the cavern underneath the sphere of that moonlight, and she is going to say, "This is where I'll put the High Judge's armor when the beast stays dead."
I think
This is where I put my High Judge trophy, if I had one.
Yeah.
I think Laya honestly does give like a very like. If she like looks around, she has like the big eyes. She's like, honestly, yeah, I do have to appreciate the work. This takes a lot of strength, and that is something I respect.
Hope is wide-eyed, looking at everything, walking around.
Yeah, Hope, this is so you know water magic, and you
Yeah.
worship a water god, and you are
Yeah.
also just infused with the essence to just like restore life. This is life magic, like ancient Marai life magic, to an extent that you probably have never seen before. Whatever is sustaining these spirits up above, like you've never seen undead be this pleasant.
Yeah.
It is normally a horrific curse to be undead. These seem no more dangerous than like a boreal forest creature, which can be dangerous, but
Yeah.
I mean, look a bear in the eyes, tell me it's pleasant, you know?
I mean, they seem like they're having a pleasant enough time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, I'm very impressed by your work. I am also very, interested in your spirits.
Did I share my blessing with them?
You want to try?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. You can breathe underwater.
If you reach forward and like, how does Hope try to share her blessing with one of these creatures?
Okay. So Hope is going to just simply reach out because they're all inquisitive around and try to touch one while channeling her blessing to it. It's when she blesses them, you get a slight like you sort of feel like a sea wind and get a little bit of salt smell, like as if you're standing on the beach essentially, just for like a second.
And when you do that,
Physically touch it.
Hope,
Mhm.
this it is just this faint amorphous shape that is moving around you, and you touch it, that whole shape is going to turn blue for a moment before it morphs and takes on still a ghost, but just a vaguely more humanoid shape, almost mirroring your own hairstyle in your own form. Not like entirely in detail, more so you see your own silhouette for a second. It remains blue, and I think it would spiral around you before finally ascending and returning to that slow swirling stream of spirits overhead. The singular blue streak in it stretching around the orbit.
Let's see how many of them I can turn blue.
You
You guys keep doing your talk.
Yeah, I would say the first few are excited. The next few, it kind of becomes a game as the spirits run, hide, and move behind and around things.
Okay, while they're talking, I'm just essentially trying to catch the spirits and turn them blue.
Yeah, if if you're doing this while everyone else is talking, Sevia's
Yep.
going to look at them and say, I sometimes forget that these are the souls of Sarai. I do so enjoy visitors. I should invite more down here.
Yeah, I suppose I hope can be entertaining for them at least.
Well, I think he's doing well enough just on his own.
You were very far from your mic.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. My cat stole my chair.
Oh.
Poor Matt.
I am literally at my desk. It's at my neck. So.
Yeah. I was at the very least very interested. I know you made the offer before to teach, easy, your ways, but I was really hoping that I could learn them as well. I do have to say the soul disappearing, that one was, due to my little unique way of using that type of magic.
Savia is going to look to Easy and say, "You want to share our hunt with all of them?"
I mean, they were already part of the hunt before, we communicated.
She almost says in a hiss, "Where's the glory?"
Screw your glory.
Hey,
Krista, that's what you're
Krishna?
saying?
Krishna? Hey, Krishna? I
Hey,
imagine this was
Krishna, look at the
already
blue
said.
spirits.
I was like,
I mean, it was said.
Krishna, eyes on me, Krishna. You put a finger over your mouth.
You just hear it. I'll go. Fine.
Why are you so
Savia
aggressive?
responds with, "I must remember not everyone shares my lust for adventure. It is what got me exiled from my people."
I'm not one for personal glory, especially in these endeavors, given the whole High Judge being an implement for the subjugation of my entire country, so...
And also as an asshole. Hey, I can legally say that since he threw me out of a goddamn window.
But, so...
Oh, I thought you were gonna say since you're
So
18.
it's a group hunt. Because it's, it's a group hunt because it's for a group, in a manner of speaking. I wanted to clarify, all of this is in Glug Glug.
Yes, Krista can speak Omani, can't she?
Yeah, we added that.
Yeah, I think she bought it.
I forgot to write it down.
We all speak glug glug.
You're all like.
Oh, actually, Krista, you cannot.
No, never mind. Chris had no
Speak
idea
it.
what's happening.
No, I can't.
Did you buy it? Because you have common and old tongue on your sheet.
They bought it last time. They simply didn't write it on their sheet. Because
Okay.
do you remember Elia getting annoyed because Krishna also magically learned it?
Yes. Okay. So you're you got Omani. Can you only speak it, Matt?
Understand, but probably not speak it.
Okay. So I'm just
It's like-
going to put understand spoken.
Yeah. It's like learning a new language for the first time.
Something we all have familiarity with.
My brain's really bad at trying to learn new languages.
Mhm.
It just doesn't.
Oh god, don't get me started on French.
Je peux parler français.
Oh, go
I
fuck
should-
yourself!
I should
Really comme ça?
really learn French.
Yeah, oui, yeah. See.
Yeah, comment allez-vous?
Je peux faire très
Stop
well.
this moon person.
Très bien. Très bien. Très bien. Well is not a word.
So
R
talking
E
to
M.
Anyways,
talking to the lone siren. Easy, you said that this is a group hunt.
Yes.
And Savia is going to respond. Yandars do this out of survival and bonding. I have no use for either.
To be fair, I do just like killing things.
What doesn't everyone?
To be fair, if
No.
you consider
Maya-
my Yondart...
Roll me a story die.
uh-oh.
DC.
What have you done?
Or not DC. There's no DCs. I
There's no
guess I'm
DC.
going to contest you with a
Fight it.
medium die.
All right. No, that I've been.
You've got to
controlling
beat a
that.
3.
I
Oh,
explode.
a 6.
I
It's,
explode. Give me a second.
and you get a +1.
So that die
Nine.
will move up to a D8.
Yeah, for a total of 9. That is a great success, Laya. And as you say that, Savia is going to turn with, like, excitement and say, like, what? What are your greatest hunts?
Well, honestly, most of the things that kill is just large groups of armed individuals at once. And I think what Laya will do, to do a little demonstration, since I haven't actually used what cleave looks like yet, uh what Laya will do is like get low with her dagger and crouch. She'll move like quickly forward in kind of like a dance. And as she moves, mist rolls off of her body, and uh half bits of people's souls and arms and legs will flail out around her, each holding a copy of the dagger that she holds, in like a whirlwind of like blades and knives. Of like just pieced together souls that she keeps on her, because I think that's very cursed.
Yeah. And there is like a mild amount of fascination before she finally hisses again and says, killing lots of small things is not to be commended. It's one
Well, I'm really
large,
small.
impossible thing. And
Given
she'll
their size,
offer
that is.
she'll offer you her hand.
Yeah, I'll take it.
She says, "Come, look. This is one of my most treasured." And she'll lead you towards one of these crystals. And as she takes your hand and places it on the crystal, with her other hand from the lake that is in the other side of her domain, she gestures, and a stream of water comes and surrounds you and this crystal. The light refracting in the crystal and the glow becomes something deep and different as it shifts and moves, and you, within the water all around you, you see an entire scene begin to take place. You will be there for a minute, Laya, and I think for the sake of everyone else, I'll just give you an overview of what happens. This is it is her fighting one of the galleons that is in her cavern. It is directly in the harbor of Crimson Keep. The High Judge is there, and one of those colossal siege demons is moving through the harbor. And not only is her ship that she is ghostly conjuring tearing apart the galleon, she is trading spells back and forth with the demon and the High Judge. It is a pretty arduous and dangerous battle, and not one that she just walks away from cleanly before the galleon sinks beneath the waves, and she directs the currents and takes it and flees. Unfortunately, it's not one of the events where she kills the High Judge, but she does kill the siege demon.
Well, if I see that, I think maybe a little surprising to her, but I can do the same magic, and I will show her the fight that we had against the siege demon, which I like crawled up the back of it and stabbed the ever-loving shit out of it.
Well, you can do that in a little while. This is about, I would say that this is about 20 minutes long.
Is this like
And
a thing
at
that
any-
we're all seeing, or like Hope, Christian, and I just kind of like over
Okay.
order?
No, you guys don't see anything other than Laya looking around at sparkly lights inside the water. And Savia with a excited expression next to her, just kind of like hands and fists, like in that way, like jerking up and down, just a little bit like, yeah. As she has seen this scene over and over again. If you guys want to wait for Laya to finish, you can. I think for
Yeah.
Savia, she might. Does she recompose herself? Hold on, let me grab my D percentage.
So is it
Die.
just that I can breathe underwater, or can I swim faster?
You can swim faster too.
Nice.
Um,
It grants you better swimming abilities as well.
she is going to look at Easy, and say, "Your murderous little one. I welcome her."
Krishna?
Why?
Wait, what?
No, gestures towards Laya, and says, "In my culture, my people teach of the sacred value of life. The songs we sing, the powers we wield from Forgotten, all of them are to be used in this grand ebb and flow to guide and direct and protect life. To
Then the
use
Bloody
them."
Jamie.
Say that
I didn't
again?
even pick that. I didn't pick that religion. Here we are talking about Forgotten.
To use them maliciously to seek out harm, it's taboo. Worse, blasphemy. Does Easy say anything, or do you just wait for Laya?
I'm just waiting for Laya.
Okay. Laya, when that one finishes, the lone siren still eagerly next to you and says, "Do you want to see another?" She'll gesture to the shark and say, "That one's not from this world."
I didn't know that siege demons counted, so I was going to see if you wanted to see when I stabbed the fuck out of one.
And yeah, with a little less enthusiasm, as more so
That was
interested
the battle at the fort, right? When I had the
in
barrel.
bragging. Yes. She's more so interested in bragging than sharing stories. But yeah, she'll if you share the memory with her,
Yeah.
she'll sit and kind of marvel at it, and once it's done, she'll say, "These things are horrific, but they're sluggish, and that is their downfall. A creature that is quick and lithe in the water is much more dangerous to me."
Like the shark.
And she nods and says, "The consummate wields them like a sinking stone, when instead a singular strike of a trident, much more deadly." If nobody interrupts her and Laya, I think she would just continue to geek out and show you her biggest hunts.
Have I turned all the spirits in the room blue yet?
Not all of them come down. I will say you do get a good third of the circle.
I think while Laya is appreciating the hunts, like especially like because I think like Adorians like very much respect martial and military might. Like that's something that she does very much value. I think she's very often just looking at the way that she uses her magic and trying to understand it, as she's getting so much close-up examples of how she goes about it.
Okay. Yeah, and I think what I'll do is if you roll any type of recall check in the future for Mirai magic or for like Moonsinger magic, I'll just make all of the tiers smaller, in terms of you gaining all of this experience.
All right, cool.
Because I think I can do that. I haven't read the recall action, but I wrote it.
Recall
If I
checks to
get
learn
that,
knowledge are a thing. So yeah.
But yeah. I think if you all geek out for, or if you and her geek out for about an hour, eventually she'll like stop before she takes you to another crystal, and look at Easy and say, "I'm supposed to teach you."
Allegedly.
You want to go find something now?
Can I try to hide one of the spirits in my bag?
I feel like
bag.
you know what? I'm gonna help him out for a quick. I'm gonna help out for a quick minute. I'll see you guys later.
We're trying to shove
I'm
the
just-
spirit in the bag.
Trying to think of like how one of these spirits can be shoved into a bag if they don't have a physical
Like,
form.
I feed it to Kaya, so it's on my shit. I'm gonna put it in my grove.
You
have
know
no
what,
clue.
Hope? Give me a reason check.
What's a reason check?
It is your world die. As you
Oh,
try
no.
and convince this creature that is not contained by bags to get into your bag.
That's my
Can
worst
I
die.
assist?
Yeah, how would you help? Oh, I didn't do hostess stuff. There's a new help action.
Hey,
There's a new help action. It's in the
I see.
it's in the rule book, and I've got it updated on your sheets. I think tonight after the session for our hangout, I will spend time updating your sheets.
Alright.
But if I was really mean, I would say specifically no, Krishna can't help, but I'm not that mean.
You just want to see us try to stuff this thing into a bag.
No, to use the help action,
Yeah.
you have to emotionally you essentially
Oh.
I'll read it for you real quick. This action has a help track with 5 unmarked boxes. Every time you emotionally bond with another player or remove a public banner, mark 1 box. You may help your allies when an ally performs a basic action or is targeted by a basic action. Describe how you help and erase a mark from your help track to grant them a benefit from the list below. And then essentially you can grant benefits to the roles. If I was mean, I would say no. Krishna never defeated her banner.
Do we not? I'm about to ask about that.
But you guys have solved another banner a few sessions ago in the village, which would mean everybody has at least 1 tick of this to use. So yeah, how does Krishna help?
Well, how Krishna would be helping in this situation a lot. It would see it as a bonding exercise with Hope.
Can I paint
Okay.
the scene of what Krishna's walking up to first off?
Yeah, go
Yes.
for it.
Okay, I have Kaya in my left hand, holding its mouth open. I'm trying to shove the spirit down her throat. So how is Krishna helping me?
I am going to hold the mouth open.
Okay. You're gonna help me keep Kaya's mouth open.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that is not enough to convince one of these spirits. Ooh, excuse me. To get in as it.
Wait, what's his favorite food?
Can
As
it
it
tell? Oh
looks
wait, I
at
have
you
5
all.
force food.
And it is going to take the shape of both of you holding Kaya's mouth open. It is just a
The mirror.
silhouette of you all. Savia
Oh wait, it's a
will
mirror.
look
So,
at
do we have to go
I have an
all
idea.
of you and
Oh,
say,
yes.
these are restless spirits sworn to vengeance. The thirst has been quenched time and time again. They find ways to entertain themselves between our hunts. But these are the crew of the ship your people come to call the Lone Siren, she says in common tongue. At which point, she'll gesture for water from the lake and towards the spirit that you are talking to. And she'll say, take form. The spirit will look like one of those ghostly, pale sailors that were aboard the Lone Siren the night you guys saw it attack the Ruby Alliance ship. They're oh god, yeah, she probably never apologized for that. It takes
apologizing too.
yeah. Well, she did almost kill you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't
Imagine
really
specifically avoided me.
Yeah, she never really put us in much danger.
Yeah,
We
that's
blew
fair.
up a ship beforehand. Like,
We blew up a ship beforehand.
I mean, our companions did.
It is a ghostly young woman with a saber standing before you.
I have an idea.
What?
I'm half listening to her, but can I try foraging? We're in a cave, right? Can I try foraging and try to find some worms?
I would say yes.
Just look under some rocks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like reaching under rocks. How does this work? Roll uncontested world check. Okay. I get another 3. Okay. What does this mean? I get 1 ingredient. It's a poisonous worm, but that's okay.
I'm gonna give it to you as a poisonous sea slug.
Hmm. Okay. I can work with this.
You sure?
Okay, carry on.
I'm not eating a slug.
No, I'm gonna try because the spirits mimic stuff. I'm gonna try to get a spirit to look like the sea slug and have Kaya eat it.
Interesting.
I hate it.
Anyways, keep going.
As she has addressed Easy, and has offered to go teach you stuff.
Yeah, go, learn.
What
I have plans.
Am
Wait,
I
just
also
top me up on that
because
blood.
I'm very interested in your magic.
Sure, go ahead.
I don't think you get to decide this.
I'm just more interested in this whatever the fuck.
we have shenanigans to do.
Yeah.
I think I want to take a moment
Okay.
out of character
Okay.
to talk to each of you as players individually about what's important to your characters right now. Laya, I think you're fine. You got a lot of stuff going on that you're juggling. Krishna, your family lives in Farport. If everything you heard earlier today with A. Marissa is correct, that the Crimson Crusade, the people who command essentially an army of demons, is setting up a strike camp at the edge of South Cress's territory to attack both Farport and Barbador in 2 days. The time that you're spending on stuff now, even though you are not threatened now, you are essentially on a clock for your family. You can be outside of that region, but as for everybody within, what happens to them, it is very much up in the air and possibly tense. And I would say the same for Easy. While it would be grand to be her apprentice for some amount of time, her lifespan doesn't seem to be constrained to the same thing that your lifespans in your day-to-day lives are. The things that are threatening you, as far as people looking for you, for your treason charges, everything you've built with Alorel on the edge of being threatened to be destroyed or smashed, your friends in Barbador, you don't have the time for a Karate Kid couple weeks training montage. Hope, time is infinite.
Yeah.
it's like, hey, your family, friends, and like countrymen are at risk. Hope, you just keep on keeping up, buddy.
Yeah,
See, I care because you guys care.
That's the secret to the universe.
Yeah, so Easy's gonna be like, I'd love to, but it's occurring to me, mostly in the lead up to us coming to your cave, that I'm running low on
Like God
time.
just told me that I have a time limit.
yeah.
Yeah, God just informed me. God just made sure I understand where I'm at in life.
Your conscience tapped you on the shoulder and said, "Hey, wait a sec." Did my slug plan work?
Crimson
I will
Keep
come
is
back to it.
mobilizing.
Okay, I can live with that.
The hunt is coming to us.
I've taught them to fear my waves.
They intend to set up what would be known as a strike team. I'm not sure if that translates. An encampment, so that they can wage war, potentially, against sections of the land that are problematic. So, yeah, they'll be not far from your house here, actually, and then they'll have to transport like supplies and weapons. So, your waters are gonna get real busy.
This lady you call consummate.
Yes.
Why do you give her authority?
I'm pretty sure it's the Devils. It's one of those, like, I'd love to hold an election and, like, maybe see if her approval ratings dip to a point where it's like, actually, I'd like to try something new. But then the Devils happen. And you kind of can't hold elections when the Devils are around.
Effectively, she has authority because she has the strongest force.
She has the biggest sword, as it is.
Yeah.
Slowly trying to fix that.
You need the High Judge dead? I've killed the High Judge before.
But I need the High Judge to stay dead. And I'm working on that. I have a weapon that can possibly do that. Which actually is part of my problem. One of the place I know that can help me make said weapon is kind of one of the places about to be under siege. We need to probably go rescue some dwarves.
Well, I would say the interesting part of those types of weapons is they apparently need a Moonsinger's blessing, which
What's a
I
dwarf?
imagine that you are one of those.
Easy, do you have the plans for the weapon?
I mean, yeah, they're probably wet.
That's fair.
I can't save them.
Yeah, if you show it to her or you describe it in any more detail.
I can make a minor illusion because I have the little sensory trick thing of the schematics.
Well, I actually think I also have that.
Yeah.
Oh,
She'll
Which you still appreciate to do, but also I have definitely studied these a little harder, so.
she'll gesture to the water swirling.
Oh yeah, I have sensory trick.
She'll gesture to the water swirling in the center of the cavern, in between the spirit orbit, and she'll say, "Which you need is moon-blessed water." There is a thin kind of, what's the best way to describe this expression? Sigh, I guess. A thin sigh as something deflates inside of her a little bit and says, "This is the most that I can sustain on my own without a chorus of my sisters to sing with me. And I've stretched it to its limit, binding." She gestures to all the swirling souls.
I can sing with you.
And sustaining. Don't. She's going to shake her head and say, "You don't bear Forgotten's echoes in your voice."
Oh.
And she says Forgotten, but in Omani, that's actually Duzima.
Just.
Does that not
Is
drive us
that-
to madness because we're using the right tongue?
Yes.
Do
And she'll
for those who don't know, is there something I can do to know what that means?
Duzima or Forgotten.
Yeah, like specifically the like echoes of forgotten, like what that means.
Yeah, go for it. Give me a recall check, and I will reduce the tiers again. This time you'll be in tiers of 2. As you've been sitting
Is
and going
this
through the
divine
amendments.
nature or arcane?
I'll make it divine.
All right.
Ooh,
That will be a 7.
that's pretty. That's 2, 4,
Well, I
6.
guess, could I make this recall check? I'm worldly.
Yeah, go for it. I'm not going to give
Round
you the
4.
same bonus. I'll do it in tiers of 4 for you.
I'm sorry, so what's the roll?
You're rolling your world die. It says instinct or expertise, but it's supposed to be world. I just haven't updated that on your guys' sheets.
Oh,
Alright, then you said it was divine, right?
Yes.
Three.
Okay.
You're very worldly.
So easy with your burgeoning knowledge of Omani, there is a lot of different meanings to the word she is using to say forgotten. There is some implications and context clues you can use to put this together, but I would say that you don't get any more information other than the word that she's using overlaps with seeds and growing. For Laya, you are going to get information on the rarely known tier. Just from looking in her vision, her command of life magic, her that she has never aged once in any of the visions across various. She's been here for like 30 years. Never aged once in a single vision. You can put together that not only does she have the gift of agelessness, she is also blessed by some greater force of life, in so much that putting together the uses of this word, the different meanings of it, what you know of history, Alilia created a cosmic seed that created all of the life in Ilderon. That seed was then lost to the ocean as the continent slowly drifted apart. You can surmise that Duzima is that seed. That Forgotten is the forgotten cosmic source of life in Ilderon. And that she has some sort of connection to it.
I don't think it's possible to learn to have connection to that seed, huh?
Yeah, there is a high chance she came out of it. Because that's what happens
I
in
think
Ilderon.
this is what Laya
Oh,
does.
okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
Yeah, so Easy, as you're talking and you show her the of what you need, and she's informed you that that is the water in the center of her cavern, she'll say, each drop of that water carries with it the essence that sustains these souls that were lost at sea. They serve and do my will because I've promised them vengeance. To give you any part of that water betrays my promise to the soul that would be bound to it.
I know that theoretically I can do something. You would be unwilling to part with any part of that water, correct? Would you
She's
be
going to
unwilling
shake her
for-
head and say, I'm not unwilling to part with it. I just want you to know what you ask of me.
Well, I would also like to fight the High Judge. It kind of seems like that's what we're going to end up doing. But I much prefer the weapon that I have for myself and just like hold up the dagger. I know if you give me a couple hours, I can probably bond it to that pool so I'd be able to hurt the High Judge appropriately.
She is
And I could be
going
used on the
to
hunt.
shake her head and say, no, that is not to be done. I do not seek to disturb the souls that have found peace with it. And it is not what gives me the ability to smite the High Judge. I do that all on my own by being a in common she says badass.
Fair enough. I can't really argue with that. That is indeed true.
She'll walk underneath it and gesture for it to pour into her hands. She holds a tiny sphere of it and one of the souls from the ring above. And I'll roll you a 50%. Evens, it's blue. Odds, it's still spectral. It's still spectral.
Dang it.
Will hover above and around her. And she'll say, I can give you this, but outside of my presence, she'll look to the spirit and say, This one will wither away in little less than a month.
I should be able to bind it so that way it won't.
Laya's gonna feed more souls.
What else is new for that one?
Laya kills so many people. I only have to kill one person for a month. The rest of the souls I just hold on to.
So,
But I should be able to sustain it without issue. I'll hold out my hand for a bit of the water.
Savia is going to talk to it and Omani, saying, This is for the vengeance that I've promised you. The creature at the center of the things that cost your life. If I give this away, I can no longer give you form. You are consigned to the world and realms beyond. The creature seems to be somewhat resolute in this as it sinks into the water. And Savia will offer the sphere forward. And I think, Laya, you have water Rycraft?
I do. So I have water Rycraft. I have another ability to blend traits together, but that's not what I was specifically talking about. I was going to give it housing in the runic weapon using the cauldron property and removing withering.
We can talk about that in the future, because just mostly you guys are acquiring the crafting ingredient you need, but I just want to know who's taking the water.
I will.
Okay. Laya, you do have water rye crafting, and I would say it would take all of your focus and strain to essentially keep this water together in a sphere. As the Lone Siren has no uses for things like bottles or bowls.
Do we have a bottle or bowl?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
I would probably not have
Check
it
the
on
bird,
me
check the
unless I
bird.
have one in... You know what? I have a disguise.
Check
on.
the
There's definitely
bird.
a
hey,
bottle.
recall.
Hey, Rob,
You know what?
are
Yeah.
you feeling desperate?
Oh my god, no. I mean, a
Okay.
little,
You
but
know what?
like, not enough for this.
So I do have a disguise kit on my person, and there's definitely like a bottle of perfume in there. So I'll just empty out my perfume.
Why am I feeling desperate? Lord Jesus.
The problem
That's-
is, Hope almost never feels desperate.
Hey, can I get a? Can I? It's
That's
like,
not
hey,
me
can I,
for
Can I get
Kreldis.
a?
That's me for the bird. The door opens
Yeah,
with
that's the bird.
desperation. Which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons
The
I
bird-
constantly have to be aware of how you guys are feeling.
Not very
Um,
desperate.
Nah.
I mean, like, I don't know. The
I-
bird
I-
feels
I-
like the bird has supplies. Maybe they like a, you know.
Yeah, there is
Sure.
actually vials and cups and things on the sloop.
Yeah.
As I will say, you guys have seen that while you were there.
Sure.
But
I'll
you need
definitely
desperation
do
to open the bird door. That said,
You know what? If it takes all my focus just to keep it up, I will be a little bit desperate to find a bottle.
yeah, Laya, you can pour out your perfume. And as you go to, Xavier's going to say, "What is that?" And as you pour the perfume, it pools into its own little sphere before she takes it and walks away to the desk she was sitting at earlier.
You had a desk because
Oh.
you don't have any cups?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, she has a work area. I'm
It,
sorry.
I imagine it to be a very light and floral perfume.
Yeah, and you can direct this moon blessed water into the vial. Uh, it glows with the light of a full moon. And she's going to say, "The next full moon is next week on the 22nd. I can make more if you come back and see me then."
You know what? I would love that.
Can you teleport?
Can the lone
No.
siren
Elia.
teleport? Oh, okay.
You're asking Leia? No, I know a lot about like water Raycraft and the manipulation of souls. Don't know a lot about teleportation magic.
I
Just
used to be
saying,
able
we're
to.
gonna be knee deep in a different part of Red Axe.
So
You
when
might
you
be
say
fighting a
knee-deep, that's
small
my
little
shoulders.
war on a mountainside. It's fine. It's not too
Whenever
far
you
away.
say knee deep, I need you to understand that that's actually up to my shoulders.
Okay, so you might be neck deep in a different part of Red Axe.
And I can break away sometime. Maybe I can send somebody. No, I can't send anybody here. That's crazy. Um, I'll think of something. If I can be here, I will be. I might be in the middle of like a war thing. I'll try to kill something impressive to bring it back to you. I don't know if you like those.
She's going to shake her head and say, "I don't need gifts, but we can hunt together when you have more time to learn."
Yes.
And easy. You have acquired one more ingredient you need for liberate. So I don't think we ever established what your crafting banner was at. Currently, it started at 120. Is it okay if I put it in the your group chat for everyone?
I think you already did.
Did I? Okay, I thought I sent it to you.
I don't remember ever seeing
Maybe you
it.
sent it just
No,
to me.
yeah, I sent it to you personally because it's your personal crafting banner.
Yeah, you can post it.
Yeah, so I'm going to reduce the resolve by a flat 15 for acquiring this, and that's going to go down each time you get any of the items
So what are we
that
at
you
90
need.
right now?
So you have 2. So yeah, that would be 30.
yeah,
Yeah,
90.
you're at 90. And then stuff you do to work towards putting all these together will also
Alright, we
reduce
see
it.
6 more lone sirens.
But every time you have a successful action towards your lowering the resolve of your crafting banner, you do get to roll your story dice and lower it by an additional amount. Working towards it regardless always lowers it, but successful checks also gives you the chance to do a little bit more. So go ahead and give me a story die, and then I'm going to subtract that from your banner resolve, and then we'll
Perfect.
move forward.
So
So
5.
5. Okay, so let's see. 120 minus 35. Your banner is currently at 85 resolve. All right. Do you want to do anything else with Savia? And
Now for
Sheldon-
the most important part. Does my slug gambit work?
Oh, does your slug gambit work?
I lure a spirit into Kaya.
Give me a story check. And you're trying to beat a 4.
And that's with me helping.
Not
Is
on
that
this
with-
one. That was with the last one.
I
Um,
don't think it worked.
Yeah. As you try and get the spirit to turn into a sea slug, it is currently in the form of a. It is in the form of a Sarai woman in front of you.
Mhm.
She'll dangle her saber, a lot like how you're dangling the.
Slug.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being mocked.
A little bit you are. um, it's mostly all these spirits do is hang out and kill stuff. So, but that's the deal they
I'm
made.
gonna
So.
abandon the slug.
Um, that said, Laya, what do you do with this vial?
You said it's something that you wanted to talk about beforehand. But one of the things I was interested in doing is I have the ability to move traits from an object onto the runic weapon that I have, and I was going to get rid of Withered to add whatever trait that it is that makes it effective against demons onto my dagger.
I will allow that, but if you do that, I don't think it's going to function for Liberate anymore.
No, probably not. So I would probably talk to Izzy about it first. And if he wants me to wait till we get the second vial of moon whatever at some point, that'll be fine. But it is the current idea, so I think I would go up to Izzy. Easy, not Izzy.
Yeah.
All right, so we have this, which I know you kind of need for the schematic to make a weapon capable of hurting the guy. But I already have a weapon, and I could probably move it over to my dagger.
Explain to me in simple terms how this is beneficial to our goals and not a application of your selfish desire to be more like that baddie.
Okay, well, one, for the selfish desire part, I will have to admit, feeding an immortal soul to a Terai might fix them.
Fair.
Secondarily,
Your demons
the-
have souls.
I don't know. That's theoretically a thing, but I've mostly understood the manipulation of souls. I haven't had a lot of chance to study demonic, not even soulology. Yeah, I guess soulology instead of biology.
We'll probably figure out before long.
I'll probably figure out before long, but we need a weapon that is capable of hurting them. I can make one using this. It just won't be the one in this schematic.
So I feel like there's a fundamental disconnect on the actual mission here. Plenty of weapons hurt devils.
Yeah, to stay dead. I will be taking that aspect. I think if I stabbed him good enough in the neck, it'd probably sever his neck. But this weapon specifically is made to make sure he stays dead, and I can transfer the aspect of the Moonsinger's blessings to mine that will keep him dead.
So my problem, and it mostly comes from, admittedly, a lack of the fine-tuned knowledge of how this weapon operates. Both yours and the one in the blueprints. Is I don't know if that, like, the issue I have is I feel like we're assuming that this is the key component that like actualizes the ability to like keep him bound,
I think
and not an interplay of several other components. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like what we're arguing here is like, you know, this is the drug. Like, well, I was gonna make a shot analogy, but modern medicine in a medieval setting.
What?
No, I feel like this is like a blasting jelly argument, like, right? Like, oh, this is the blasting jelly. It makes the boom, so then it's a matter of like the shell that we administer, you know, like to do the most damage, right? Whereas I'm not confident that we're not making blasting jelly, and it just happens to be sword shaped. If that makes sense.
I guess. So, as far as my particular weapon goes, I don't know how to explain in detail all of the specific ways in which magic works with Convergence of Souls. I could. Do you want to learn? Do you got?
I mean, I'd like to know, because the problem I'm having, right, like my hesitancy here, is that we'd be using this magic water with no guarantee that we can get more. And we have
We
an
can.
offer on the
It's just
table,
another-
but no. But we have things that need to be done. I don't know if we will have time in a week.
I can make time.
But
Does my blessed water hurt demons?
my concern is that we put it in your blade on a hunch, whereas we have, admittedly, it's still hunchy because it's not like I have peer-reviewed science on my side here of something that can do the job.
Just
So in the practical
speaking
matter-
as the hostess on the subject for everyone, just the logic of the situation, the lone siren can create this water. This is as much as she can sustain, not on the night of a full moon that she has informed you of, the big sphere in the middle of her room. The lone siren does not have the power to keep the high judge dead, which would imply that this water alone does not have the power to keep the high judge dead.
Yeah, and my point is sort of, it's like, to me, then I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I feel like the argument to a degree is like this mixed with Laya's other magic-y bits would create like an equivalent versus like basically like we have two potential recipes, right? We have my banner and then we have this, Laya's weapon.
Yes.
Of ways to get to essentially the
my
same end. And my argument is mostly that the Laya version feels like a hunch and a half,
Mhm.
whereas we have a slightly sturdier path forward with the blueprint.
Easy if you would like. I am fine with waiting until after we can come back here to get another one.
I would prefer
for
to.
my-
I would prefer to wait, just because again, I don't know what's going to happen to us in a week. I don't know if
That's
we'll be in
fair.
a position to come back here and get the more water. And
a
I'd rather
second
have it,
secondary-
and like I'd rather have it and then end up with surplus than to use it and then
course.
be stuck.
Yeah, that's fine. In the event of your death, does this change at all?
Oh, in the event of my death, consider that at least some small payment to my debt.
That's true. You still do owe me money.
Yeah. In the event of my untimely demise, that water is yours to do with as you please.
All right. This is not me saying I am going to slit your throat in your sleep.
Oh, I would hope not.
No, it is not.
I'd say I'd haunt you, but I have a feeling that my soul wouldn't actually make it to the point of being a ghost.
You would not have that choice, no.
Yeah. So.
I'm uncomfortable with this conversation.
Why? I thought we laid out everything that's going to happen very clearly.
Okay. I'm worried. No, we
Besides, I lead a
Don't worry
dangerous
about the
lifestyle. She
potential
doesn't really have to
infighting.
hasten it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have zero plans to harm Easy.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. He's just the one actively being hunted, and he might die soon.
True.
Gotcha.
I am an enemy of the state.
Oh,
More so
all of
than
my
I
plans
was
have
2
failed
days
today.
ago.
As a hostess, Aloe, can you try killing Easy for me?
What?
I dealt
Alright.
5 injuries to him last session, and he took 1.
Technically, I could because Grave Rot kind of fucks with his thing.
Also, to be fair,
I
I'm
might
pretty
think.
sure the way the system works is I've used up all of those things, so...
For a scene. It's a new scene.
We traveled.
hey, what do you know? It's kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Because I think he can reduce it to 1 to a minimum of 1.
I can ignore... I'm sturdy, so I can outright ignore some injuries. But then if you cause multiple injuries, I can ignore that to a minimum of 1.
Yeah, but if I would do that, I'd just make it a major instead, and do not give
Um,
you the choice.
I was just making a joke.
Yeah.
But
It's
let's
okay, I
get
get-
back
you just
on
looked at it, so
Trackaroni.
sorry. Yeah.
So you all have the blessed water. You have 2 days of time to figure out what you want to do before the stakes of the campaign get drastically escalated.
On that note, given another whisper from God, I think we should get to the Shiver Spines, if only because that's a better place to talk about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh,
But
I'm down.
also, we may have to
think
lightly
we should-
suggest to them that they're going to get a good chance to be pirates.
Mm-hmm.
We should start moving quickly.
How
yeah, and
desperate
that to
are
me
we
is
to get there?
To me, that's kind of part of it, right? Is that to me that's a staging ground to then make other
I think-
motions.
Easy,
Do you
how-
want to take this to your city, Barbador?
I don't know how fast airships move.
Hey,
would
Marissa's?
need to go-
Probably
She offered
fast.
us passage out of here. Technically speaking, like we kind of need to take her up on that offer,
Yeah.
like for reasons possibly
Um,
tangentially related to why she offered it.
I'm really fast though.
So are you all leaving the Lone Sirens domain?
Yes.
I believe.
Okay. Before you go, Easy, Savia will stop you and say, I will warn you, I am searching for my next target, for the movements of the High Judge, for the plans within the memories and the dreams of those who might have heard them. I will not restrain myself for you to be at my side.
That's perfectly fine. You can't keep him dead forever, so eventually he'll come to me.
Her expression narrows. Not yet. And she'll let go of your arm. You can leave freely, but mostly her just warning. She is still on her life's mission, decades
well.
mission.
Anyways, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hope that hope gives me the blessing, so I can go swim in the water back to the Shiverspine Pirates and the long-standing tradition of Rob hanging out with problematic women.
Enjoy your hunt.
Real quick, how desperate are you to get to the Shiverspine Pirates?
Desperate to get to the Shiverspine Pirates specifically? No.
Well-
But I feel like Easy's feeling a small amount of desperation, given the fact that he has an emotional attachment to the dwarves that we need to potentially go see.
Do dwarves exist?
Yes, they live in Barbador.
It's a slang term for the Matukai Ori.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Matukai-ori. They were forged in the fires of Mount Momodol Malima.
Okay.
It sounds like gibberish, but everything Rob has said is correct.
I know my lore. I don't know the
I did
mechanics
not
of
know
the
your lore.
system, but I know my lore.
I truly believed it. I just looked at. I just had to try to process that audio information.
Same.
Yeah,
A lot of
the
syllables.
mountain is a Swahili word, so it's gotten very weird
Oh,
syllables.
Moonspeak.
Yeah.
You got a magma phoenix to go find.
It's almost like Rob
cling,
manifested it.
I do cling to Easy's back because yet again I cannot swim.
That's perfectly fine.
can
I
swim
swim
with the
better
blessing.
because I have the blessing.
The blessing specifically makes
See,
it
here's
easier to
a
swim.
question for Hope. If it
Oh
increases your
shit!
swimming ability, if it's 0, is it additive or multiplicative? Because
This is
that's important
additive.
for how much better you get at it.
Let me read you the wording.
Because if it's
Additive or
additive, then Laya actually can maybe swim a little bit. If it's multiplicative, 0 times something is still 0.
Let me find the wording.
Actually,
Close,
interesting anyway.
blessed
Because
allies
You
may
do
breathe
not need to
underwater.
roll. Yeah, you do not need to roll to take difficult move actions, which I assume is swimming. Maybe I'm wrong.
It is, I think, for Laya not understanding how to move in water, it probably would make
well,
Okay.
and also it's one of those
Viral,
things
and
where it's
that's
like you
not-
might be like better at it, but is it like magically like, oh, like it like magically induced muscle memory? Because like
I mean, since you
you're
don't
not
need to
if
roll,
you're like
you just auto
not
pass.
if you don't do a thing right, like I don't feel like suddenly you just can do the thing even like haphazardly.
I touch your
Have
hand. You're
you-
now Malcolm Phelps.
Have you guys seen Megamind with
Yeah.
the villain Titan who flies with his hands
Yes.
forward, sitting up?
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't make Laya roll to do anything she wanted to do in water. I would make her roll to look graceful while doing it. As
I feel like-
as Hope has enchanted the water to mostly do what you want it to do, but you might
so-
look like Titan
here's
from
what I am-
Megamind just gliding through the water weirdly.
So I need you to understand what effectively is happening is Hope is casting a spell on me that lets me learn how to skateboard without the actual fundamentals of skateboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I refuse.
yeah, entirely. That's totally fair.
I think Laya truly, like, even if she could move through the water through magic, it's not her own, and she does not trust it.
Right, you can't get over the mental the
Yeah.
mental aspect of it, right? Like if you're like
Yeah.
if you're a little like hydrophobic because you can't swim normally, you're not just gonna be able to like turn that part of your brain off because Hope's magic will help. Like,
Yeah,
right.
it's just like the idea of a grown man cowardly clinging to a skateboard that is doing like 50 sick tricks that he's not aware of what's happening or how is the mental image of Leia trying to swim using her magic.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You all get to back to the docks of you get back to the docks of South Crest. You can sneak aboard the Shiver Spine.
Sneak?
Flotilla.
Whoa. No. I want
No,
to
we're
kick in
sneaking.
before.
Well, no,
I'm
I'm
fine
just
with sneaking.
mostly rolling if there's an investigation for the lady you killed earlier.
That's true.
Oh, sneak to the ship. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
Definitely
understand
didn't
that.
float up.
Never mind.
But
Yeah,
the
I'm okay with
soul, the
sneaking
body
to the
doesn't
ship.
float. Everybody knows that.
We're underwater. We can just come up on the ship.
Yeah,
next to the
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're
And
sneaking
so
on the ship.
mostly though, once you guys get on the ship, you don't see more disturbance at the docks and pier than you normally would. Mostly people going about their nightly routines. Coming back up in the late afternoon, Amarissa's ship will be parking back again at the spire. The airship is no longer doing donuts around town, as I think one player described it last session.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's easy.
Hey, Easy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You know when she was going on about the bit of like the value and sanctity of life and blasphemy and stuff? Was that code that she's mad at me or not?
I don't think I know her well enough to make that call for you.
I'm a princess, you are.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't even get my first lesson because this whole thing's getting crazy.
That's fair. I was trying to understand it because she didn't seem like mad at me. She seemed like she liked me, but also that very much seemed like not what I was doing.
As
I didn't want to ask.
you all are chatting, um, different members of the crew are going into the town for the night. Marissa and two privateers, not Marissa, I'm sorry. Myra and two privateers are going to stop near you and say,
I'm gonna wave.
yeah, Myra hangs off or just arm hanging off a rope and say, hey, ambassadors, do you guys get any jobs from Marissa?
You know, in a way, possibly.
Anything that pays well? You need a ship?
Well, huh.
The
How
pay
do
is
I?
what you can carry.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna say, great. When do we ship out?
As soon as possible.
What's the gig?
Well, it depends on
Your moral
how
compass?
risky you want to play it.
She's gonna say, stop being so coded with your words. We've all murdered people together.
Okay,
true.
you know what? I am gonna come out and say it because one, you've asked me to not beat around the bush, and then two, there's no easy way to suggest what I'm about to suggest.
Hey, that's you.
Hey, we found out that the Crimson Crusade is gonna set up a strike camp outside of we're in Farport, right?
South
we're at
Southcrest.
Southcrest.
Thank you. Sorry. It's outside of Southcrest, which means they need to be armed and supplied.
You suggesting us running transport?
No, I'm suggesting you running sabotage.
And Marissa gave her blessing for this. The
Uh,
Marissa who argued to be able to contribute half the forces to the Crimson Crusades that she's required to.
You
The
know,
Marissa
not
who
so
won't
much.
help anyone outside of the walls of Southcrest.
You know, not so much. But I guess maybe I could try to do some massaging because she doesn't want that camp here. And I feel like maybe it's a compromise point.
I was supposed to go talk to her tonight about it. You're welcome to tag along.
Myra's gonna rub her chin and say, trying to plunder an Axe Alliance Navy vessel means we'll have to fight the lone siren.
We don't have to worry about that.
Don't think so. I think that I'll be so real with you. I don't think you have to worry about it.
That ship has sailed.
She's going to say, no, sinking it's not the problem. She drags ships to the bottom of the ocean floor. Rumors say she curses drowning sailors still aboard them, keeps them all as a trophy on the ocean floor. If we want anything off of it, she shakes
Air
her
trophy
head
collection is crazy.
and says, that's the difficult part.
Well, the easy part, but is technically Easy there has made a deal with her.
I'm her
to
apprentice.
put together.
There's a, like, Myra, who's, like, hand up over her head, hanging on a rope, kind of relaxed, having this conversation. Eyes go wide as her shoulders stiffen, and she stands up straight. The lone siren. The ghostly
not
entity
so
that
long.
sinks...
E.
Yeah.
So sailors
No,
are,
I feel like-
and she's gonna say, sailors are a superstitious lot. Are you inviting harm onto the Shiver Spine? Because we all call this place home.
No, absolutely not.
I would just like to take a moment to appreciate the fact that you're more distraught about the fact that I might be in league with a, spectral entity haunting the oceans than the part where I suggested active treason.
She's gonna
I
say,
mean, they're pirates.
we all live in Red Axe. Who wouldn't commit treason if they had the opportunity?
I
Yeah.
guess that's fair. I forgot where I was.
I mean,
for a
Or who's
second.
gonna fight
it's
a
like
demon army?
every other Tuesday.
We are, apparently.
Yeah, apparently
I mean,
we are actually. That's apparently what we're doing.
I was gonna say we've technically already done that. Yeah.
Myra's gonna start
Wait.
looking between you all and say,
I've had a very, I've
I'm
had a
glad.
very crazy approximately 16 hours.
It's been a very long 16 hours.
she's gonna point and say, okay, sabotaging Red Axe vessels. A focus on that. If you get Amarissa's blessing, I'll get Captain Seema on board. They're having their fate read at Rachokan's Psalms
I can get Seema on board.
up in the high grass.
Seema's already on board. We just have to inform
Yeah.
him what we're doing.
Yeah, I can get Seema on board.
Well, Easy, if you would like to accompany me, let me do your makeup so that way we don't get hunted again.
Also, if we
Have
do
you
take the
considered
job,
just undoing the knots in my hair?
There's a look.
Oh, I don't have knots in my hair.
There's a look.
Oh,
of-
because we just did the part. We just let Myra know about that accidentally or.
No,
incidentally.
there is a look of like a huge shit-eating grin on Myra's face, and say,
oh,
"You're being hunted like a pirate."
Yep.
yeah.
I'm
We're officially privateers. You know, if you kiss her boot, Amarissa will pardon you.
Oh, she's not gonna
Uh,
pardon me.
Also, she doesn't have the authority to.
She doesn't.
I mean,
She's
Also,
a
when we
leader of the
set out-
Axe Alliance.
And
Um,
her
I'm-
lie
I've been formally accused of treason.
by the Ruby Alliance. Yeah.
By the Axe Alliance.
Wow.
Yeah.
She can grant
They really like
clemency
to like
in her
it, people.
territory.
I don't intend to stay here long enough to use it.
She's gonna shrug.
I have to go
and-
commit more treason.
She's gonna shrug and say, well, that's why we're always in South Crest. But I respect you way more than I did 2 nights ago when we sunk that Ruby Alliance vessel.
I'm sorry, it's just so like, man, I respect you a lot more than I did 2 days ago. I'm like, well, 2 days ago you thought I was just kind of like probably thought I was just like a random jackass orc. Now you understand I'm a terrorist. And a good one.
So,
I can't stay
so
here to
on your-
protect my own neck. I have more treason to go commit.
You know, I do have to ask. On the respect scale, where does the terrorism and lone siren apprentice like on each side of the scale? Which side weighs which?
I think sailors in these in the Western Straits, where you guys are at, or the Western Seas, are all terrified of the lone siren. She is, for people who aren't the High Judge or the Bloodlord, she is practically undefeatable if she comes after one of your ships. So they're, the idea that, we have allied with this eternal sea spirit who seems to want nothing but vengeance, or want nothing but violence and bloodshed of our nation, is its own, thing of, that's terrifying and we're superstitious of her. We tell stories of that. The idea on the other side of we commit, treason when we have disrespect for the law and, we are actively fighting against the crusade. These are former pirates. These are people who completely understand that and understand, the need and desire for life. And there is a huge level of respect that balances you right out in the middle of Myra. She does not know what to think of you all, but knows she likes coin, and if you guys offer her the opportunity for that, she will take it.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm just an old lady.
Remove me as chosen one.
Hope is the chosen one, and I don't know how to deal with that.
Also, can I sell your ship?
I mean,
Tell your
Can you
ship
tell
what?
if they're-
Can I sail your ship when we go?
No.
She's going to gesture to the shiver spine and say, "Hey, it only moves from us all working together."
Okay, can I be at the
I would
helm?
just like to state formally that we may not be leaving Southcrest on your boat.
We'll see. We'll go talk
Okay.
to.
We'll let you know what the plan is, but I just wanted to set you up for that. That the whole private, we might get you your blessing from Marissa, and then take a ride on her skyship, which I want to note is not a critique of your fine vessel. It's mostly a speed problem.
I could fly
we-
the sky.
well, technically hijack it for the pirates.
No. The sky vessel is their friend's ship.
That's true.
I'm sorry. Hope is.
Sorry, my air
I'm
thoughts.
just saying, I'm faster than theirs.
Actually, Myra,
She perks up.
and then actually Emmy,
Yes, I perk up.
because I don't know the geography that well of Red Axe in my brain.
Yeah, I can post a picture after this.
Barbador doesn't have a port.
Barbador has the pseudo makings of a port. They have a port called Cliffs. I think it's called Cliffs Watch. It is one little city that they take things up from the port into the mountain, and it does require the cooperation of Raster and Farport to access. And I'll show you that on a map.
Wait, so it requires Raster's cooperation. So would I have to give him notice before we even tried going there?
I'm unsure what you're asking. I'm sorry.
So the whole thing I was gonna ask was how fast can the Shiverspine pirates get us to Barbador?
Oh, way poorer than you walking.
Well, yeah, but also
I can do that math right now. If you give me a
at least part of the skyship thing is that it's way faster than it's the it goes skyship, normal ship, walking.
yeah.
Well, I guess somewhere in the middle you could put horses, but
Okay. So, the yellow one on the upper edge, there, on the upper left-hand side, that's where Cliff's Edge is. I'm sorry, I'm sorting by cultures rather than provinces. That's why it looks red in some splotches.
No, that's okay. So we're in
Um,
Southcrest.
Yes, I'm
We are
going
in South
to measure right now, and I can get you a, estimation of times. Welcome to everybody's favorite section of these streams. Emmy does math.
Yeah.
I do want to point out, because I am here, all of our travel times are reduced by 15%.
Oh yeah, true.
it's just broad
I know a
spectrum or
shortcut.
specifically around boats.
It says broad spectrum.
Yeah,
I
that's
find
the
shortcuts in the
Wondercat
mist and the
ability.
fog, and we appear further along our journey than we're supposed to be.
Which I can
Horrifying.
imagine the rest of the Shiverspine pirates say, "What are you doing sailing into that fog straight at the coast?"
Well, that's why I wanted to sail the boat, so we
No,
get
no,
there faster.
I know. Okay, let's
I hate
see. So this
Ugh.
thing
Suspicious
is a
fog is homie.
flotilla.
Hate that for you.
Which
I love it.
think
It also
we'll-
explains why the other wanderer can get everywhere so fast.
It does. Well, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying I hate it.
Yeah. I'm okay with you hating it.
Thank you.
Rob, this isn't looking great for you as far as the shiver spine.
I mean, that's fair. I kind of thought that, but I figured I'd ask.
285. Let's see, 285. Do I need to update this? Yeah, and then this should equal. Alright, 285. There's the water current. Extra time travel. Okay, so if the wind is in your favor, which we can't count on that, so let's just remove these modifiers. It's going to be 3 days traveling via the Shiver Spines flotilla.
Including with mine?
No, that's not including the 15%. So 2.97.
Yeah,
he's not gonna knock
15% is
it
not going
off,
to turn 3 days into 2 or less.
Yeah.
It'll turn into like
Use the
2 days and 18 hours or something.
as like a way of propelling us forward.
It won't get us
Yeah.
there in time though. Yeah.
If you take and
We need 2 of me.
get really amazing conditions, then that would get better. All right, so now let's do this for the airship. The airship, we're going like that. 227, okay. God bless this travel calculator, because I do not want to sit and do all this math. 227. The airship will get you to Barbador by midday tomorrow if you take it
No,
straight
okay,
to
well,
Barbador.
Here we go.
It's one
Alright, we're taking
day
the airship.
with no modifiers. If you get a favorable wind, let's see. If you get a favorable wind, it's less than 1 day. You're at 0.9, and that's just on a 25% chance. Or the 25% increase. Let's see if that was 0.7. So potentially, in your best conditions, the Shiver Spine Pirates would have you there a day and a half, and the airship could have you there in just over a half a day.
Okay.
Alright. And easy question for you. Did you maybe want to use your communist propaganda against the Kalkin to try to rope them into it as well?
Never changed. Why?
You want me to go make a, make it. You know, actually, though, letting them know about this might be worthwhile. You know.
Yeah,
Them,
that's why I suggested it.
Yeah, we should at least let them know, even if we can't necessarily rally them to the cause. But
I
their
would like
whole
to do
subservience to the consummate, right, run a little afoul of the active threat outside their borders.
From what I understood, they are less subservient and more as an agreement that allows them to exist within the consummate's borders, but I don't think either of them like each other.
Yeah, well,
You know, you have some grand stirring rhetoric. I'm sure that'll move the hearts and minds of people.
no, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. All right, you want to do that first before we go see?
Hey, Marissa.
Just so that way, if it does.
Yeah,
work,
you
we
know
have a
what?
little
We
bit
probably
extra
should
leverage.
do that first, just because technically speaking, we have to go convince a Marissa to commit treason, and I don't know how well that'll go.
Yeah,
I'm
we
very-
should convince as many people to commit treason first, so that way she has a lot of people that she can see that are joining in on the trend.
This
I'm
is
very
the treason
persuasive.
train.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me talk to
I'll
her.
do-
I can do it.
Let me go ahead and give you a disguise. Do you want to go with the same one that you had the first day, or do you want a new one?
I have a new one's probably safer.
I'm putting on my dressier clothes as well.
How do you feel about wigs? Do you like long hair?
Yeah, long hair's fine.
All right, you're gonna look like Fabio.
Hurrah.
I believe a Marissa invited you all back to see her anytime before sundown, and I think she said you could come see her at her house.
Yes.
I don't have notes on the specifics of that conversation because my notes were on more grand sweeping things, but I do remember she did give you guys some personal invitation.
Yes, she did say that because I asked to speak to her in private, and she did give us the availability to do that.
Yeah, so if you guys hustle right now, you can catch the end of her office hours.
Sure.
At Amar Spire, because if you go to Allison Grasp, I am putting that banner back in play.
Yeah.
Okay,
We can-
guys.
It's okay, but Easy's not taking Krishna this time.
No, High Grass, you're fine. High Grass, you're fine.
Okay.
You take me with
so
you, like.
So, do you want me to go to Amarissa and then you go talk to the Calkin while I'm talking to Amarissa? So we can be efficient about this.
I mean, yeah, that would probably be the most efficient, and I don't know how good a messenger I am for the whole treason thing.
I'll go with
You are a
Laya.
pretty good one for. You're coming with me?
Yes.
I'm gonna just look at Hope and then turn my head back to Krishna, and it's just like, okay, well, who's taking
First of all, bite me. Second of all,
No.
hurtful.
I did. What part of me that was hurtful? All I asked was who's taking you. Like, who are you going with?
Make me sound like I'm the problem child.
I was gonna look a kitten, but yeah.
Okay, so I
What
know
the
that you
hell
said
was-
that out loud.
My
Can you
point.
recall to me all the things that you have said and done over the last? You know what? I'll make it short. 6 hours.
Krista's just going to flip out. Flip
Flip
Laya
out.
off.
I'll flip her off. Okay. I thought you were like, I throw a tantrum. I was like, what?
Myra is going to laugh and walk off.
No, Myra's here.
And say,
Okay, so what
diplomacy! And she's going to head to the lift.
You feel like being a
So
pirate?
You have your problem, children. I have mine. All right.
Bite me.
Okay, so who are you going with?
Do I want to be an asshole and just say you?
It's your life.
Yeah, Matt, you get to make the decision.
Oh, fucking.
If
Okay, I got-
I could offer you advice in character, what's most important to Krishna right now?
Probably going to be the family.
So would it be more conducive for you to try and convince a Marissa to join in Alaril's cause, or would it be more conducive for Krishna in terms of just protecting her family to convince the Kalkin, the people who are keeping the peace, to essentially stop being peacekeepers and join in this revolution?
Probably the Kalkin, because that way there's also a higher than likely chance of them joining due to the chaotic nature of Krishna.
Okay.
All right, Kristen and Easy back again.
I'm sorry, Rob.
No. Rob's going to. Easy's going to A Marissa.
No.
Laya's going to the Calvin.
No.
Oh,
I thought it was the other way
in
around.
reverse? Yeah.
Other way around.
It's the other way
So
around.
wait, Laya's going to A Marissa and Easy's going
Yeah.
to the Calkin?
Yeah.
Where have I
Yes.
been?
I don't know.
Okay.
Good question, because
I-
I've been trying to figure that part out.
Okay.
I feel like the Kelkin. I feel like Laia has less ability to convince very like morally upright people than Easy does.
That's fair. Okay. So if we said it, if you all hustle, so I'm gonna say there's probably no more time to sit and plan this
All right.
as
Yeah.
you can
And
run to the left and catch the next one into town.
on the way, we see random fog, and I go, Laia, let's go there. We'll get there faster, trust me.
You know what? I'll allow it. You arrive 15% faster.
If I can convince Laia to go into the fog.
No, you know what? Oh, I find myself incapable of distrusting you.
Perfect. I drag you into the mysterious fog.
Um,
And we get there 15% faster.
So evens. Does anybody want to go first? Otherwise, I'm gonna evens odds and just pick a group at random.
I would love to see what Krishna's doing because I have to use the restroom.
Okay, that's
We'll
one.
go first.
All right, heading to the fire grasp, to the Kelkin office. You are going to going past this walk. You are going to be within shouting distance of the smiths closing up their shop for the day. The smith that sold you but who you asked to acquire the ash vein ingot from, Litra, I think her name was. Let me double check just to make sure I'm not a crazy lady. I'm gonna go with Litra until my notes tell me something different. Litra blacksmith. Her sister Fitra was not the blacksmith. Litra is going to shout up to you, Easy, as you are passing by, and say, "Glad to see you have your head. Who'd you get to craft that sword?"
Still working on it.
Yeah.
You don't seem... she just waves her hand. Haunted. Do you still have it?
Don't you have it, Krishna?
The ingot is in Laya's murder house.
We left it with a friend.
I'd check on them if I was you.
Fine. They're already haunted. They can't get more haunted.
Yeah. It's like me, getting more cursed.
She's gonna say, "We're turning in for the day. Nice to see you around, though."
Nice to see you.
You. We both say that at the same time.
As they close their shop, you all can head into the Calkin's office. Aladai, the vampire, has constantly, as the newest member, pulling the short straw, is going to be in the office practicing a dance as he is passing time. Sees you all walk in and straightens up and says, "If it's not my brother and sister in arms, how are you doing?" He looks to Krishna.
I'm just going to give the look of, I am so done with the hoity-toity people. Or the peaceful game.
Hey, I was there with you.
Yeah, we need you again.
Less dire this. Well, you know, you'll make the assessment.
You got a. He's gonna walk over to the desk and pull out the form. You got a magical anomaly to report? What's up?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, yeah.
We found out that our dear consummate, wise in her ways, is going to be encamping a strike. Or I guess it's called a strike camp. He's going to be generating a strike camp on the outskirts of town.
As you're talking, by the way, hearing your voice, Beth Sineth is gonna leave her office, and lean against the door frame as she's listening to you talk to Aladai with her arms crossed. And he's going to say, "This." He looks towards Bassineth and then back towards you. Is business between you and I, and not you and the Kalkin.
No, it's between it's between us, me, and the Kalkin. Us and the Kalkin, however you want to phrase it.
He's gonna say, I made the vow to help you, but not in my official capacity as a Kalkin member.
Look,
Just would love to see some less demons around this fucking place.
Yeah, look.
Is it possible abdicate that role for the time being and then help us?
Look, however you guys want to handle your business, you handle your business, right? You know, because I guess Bassett's here, right?
Yeah, essentially, this man has
me.
promised to help you all, but his supervisor is watching.
But anyways, it's just like, look,
Are
this is
they
me
watching
providing you, like, I'm a concerned, this is a concerned citizen informing his local Kalkin chapter about what might be a pressing need. Is it a magical anomaly? Maybe not so much, or at least not a. I guess anomaly would indicate some amount of unknown. This is a very known quantity. It's called our system of governance. But I also wanted you to let you know that that means likely an uptick in the presence of extraplanar beings near your borders.
Bassineth is gonna speak up and say, Mealy's, the Shielded's concern is, with open and total warfare that Red Axe faced, 30 years ago, on the onset of the Crimson Crusade, the Consummate will seek whatever forces and whatever powers are available to her to triumph in a conflict. There will be more demons when war comes to these shores. Our goal in the treaty that the Consummate signed that allows us to exist here wards off enough of that war, but
yeah, it's clearly not stopping it from occurring.
War's coming. What do you think that strike camp is for? Idle protection on the off chance something rises up?
It's going to lead the entire invasion.
I was gonna say, you don't call it a strike camp if it's meant for defense. You would call that a fortification.
Yeah.
That's how common works.
Well, that's
it is intended to be a staging ground to strike out at Barbador and Farport. Because apparently, they're finally getting a little too uppity for the Consummate's liking.
And they want to nip in the bud.
So if your priority is to avoid total war, well, where does Sybil rank on your conflict meter?
Bassinet is going to exhale and say, I don't disagree with any of your points or reasonings raised, but I have superiors in the quarters I have to answer to. You
I think
help me
would like
move
to
my
speak to the
family
manager.
out of the line of fire and my people to safety. I can repay that kindness. What is it that you'd request of the Kelkin?
Joining us in this conflict.
Hi, Leo.
Krishna, there's your spine. Roll me a reason check, and what else would you say or try and add on to that to be like a little bit more, to like make your case better?
If you're so goddamn worried about the people, why aren't you worried about them being attacked? You only seem worried about your damn self. You're damn shit.
Go ahead and roll me that reason check, and I think that's going to be impassioned for you.
Okay.
And so that's but it is still your world die.
Yeah. Only a 2. Oh well.
Well, she does contest it, but she is rolling a d10.
And I'm rolling a d6.
Yeah, and you say she only cares about herself, and she's going to say, I joined the Kelkin not as a selfish vie for power. I saw that they were the only thing in this region that were willing to and capable of standing up to the demons. The treaty is not perfect. It's flawed beyond.
Here is your way of fixing it, then. Krishna's going to interrupt him as he's saying that.
Her. This is Bassinet talking.
Sorry.
And what do you say?
Basically saying, yeah, it's a goddamn bad tree. Here's your chance of fucking fixing it.
There is also a +1 on that roll.
She did roll a 9.
Okay. So the +1 does not matter.
No.
All of us were blessed recently by me, so we all have +1.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Because right now, all I'm hearing is a bunch of goddamn bullshit coming out of your mouth about saying how you're not wanting to get intervened. Well, next time, if someone asks you to help, you goddamn help them. And if you're just going to be spouting the same bullshit as every other fucking politician back home, then you're no good to anyone.
Bassinet's going to cross her arms at that and say, we have people inside of Crimson Keep and Queen's Ride. If I make the call for the Kalkin to stand with you and resist, they're slaughtered.
They be slaughtered if they stand with us or against us, because they'll be dead.
Actually, I don't know
no-
if that's completely true to be. Not to undermine you. I'm actually really liking your energy right now.
Thank you.
Bassinet is going to say the consummate has upheld her part of the treaty. Diplomats, ambassadors, foreigners get to travel within Red Axe freely without constantly being hunted and slaughtered by the Crimson Crusade. Relations with the nation are slowly opening back up to the world. And for us here, inside of Red Axe, I don't disagree with the points that you all have made. And even more so, I'd be inclined to be swayed by them.
And yet
But-
here you are taking their side and wanting to stay the right course of just keeping your damn nose out.
If I say yes, let's do this, and we enter into this half-ass, all of my agents get slaughtered, and there is nothing I can do to offer to help you. Come to me with more of a plan, and I'll consider it.
No, that's absolutely fair. We're still kind of figuring stuff out. Mostly because I don't think the places that are about to get strike teamed know they're about to get strike teamed.
Point.
She's going to look at Alidai and say, throw away the form. Tonight's meeting never happened. Alidai is going to put it back inside of the desk.
Anyways, so in the meantime, keep an eye on your family. Make sure this camp doesn't rough up the citizenry too much. And I'll see you again when this is a little more full-assed.
She's gonna nod and say, I hope, sincerely I do, that you survive. That your seeds grow into something more useful.
I do too.
She's gonna stop for a minute before she walks back into her office and say, you remember when you met our two agents? They were investigating the actions of a circle of Wonderkin?
Yeah.
Has this been their ploy the whole time?
What, to get a strike team, or to, what? Get folks like you?
They're pouring
Possibly
in
on-
from the Walkwater Wilds all over Red Axe.
This meeting still isn't happening, right? That's an actual question.
A kindness for a kindness. And she'll nod and say, we're kin of the same Yandar.
The Wonderkin are sowing chaos. Seeding feels too nice a term for it. The whole point is to stuff this bad boy full of blasting jelly, light the fuse, and see what happens.
You're going to see Krishna kind of just give a smirk at that statement.
It's deliberate in the sense that they have something resembling a goal, but when that thing blows up, they don't have any inclination where to put it.
They don't care who it hurts.
They don't care who it hurts. They don't really know what to do with the pieces.
There's more to this than your contact has led on. Um, we have been investigating magical anomalies. Report are attributed to, and those responsible for have all been Wanderkin. Things beyond the ability of mortals. Powers not seen in amongst the Yandars of Red Axe. From what our investigation has informed us, there's a Meandeth here, working in the shadows, coordinating all of this. Last time Oka was on these coasts, she set the inside of the volcano ablaze with chaotic magic. Who knows what she's planning to do next? I would take care with who you choose to call friend and kin in these coming days.
The Wonderkin are a means to an end. Hope I like. The rest of them, I keep an eye on.
The god directing them might feel the same way. You can read the reports if you want. But a warning. That's all I offer.
No, I appreciate it. And that's why I wanted to let you know what I know. That, again, as far as I know, they're just packing a barrel full of blasting jelly. The rest of us, just trying to aim it at the right place.
The Crimson Crusade is a caged beast, but the door's not locked. They only remain in there out of choice. I would be very concerned about what happens when that cage breaks. But, nevertheless, present me with a plan. If I can justify it, I won't need to seek permission from the quarters. The last time the Crimson Crusades happened, we were caught unaware. I won't make the same mistakes of my predecessors.
Well, and that's why I came to let you guys know. Maybe you don't do anything today. Maybe you don't do anything tomorrow. But storm's coming. Get an umbrella.
That's a damn good line to walk out on.
Yeah.
Do you leave on that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
too badass
Yeah.
line to stay at the door.
Yeah.
All right. I would say so. Aladai has Aladai's ride or die. As a private citizen, he's already.
He's ride or die. He's ride or die, and he's undead. He can't actually die again.
Yeah. As far as Bassaneth, I would say that you guys have a ally in quotation marks. She can't.
Right, we have our angel investor, but we need to put together a good presentation of our product plan.
Yeah, she can't just say, "Yeah, let's do it," because she's commanding about 50 to 60 people moving about the region that, all become in danger at that decision. So yeah, I would say you've got a ally in quotation marks. If you can say present a plan that's probably going to be effective in this, that Al Bassaneth would be willing to give the call um, to try and head off whatever this coming storm is. That said, let's. Do you guys want to head anywhere specific before I jump over to the rest of the party?
I feel like. Well, where would our meeting place? Because I feel like we'd either go back to the ship, or we'd kind of like linger around, like Amar Grass or whatever, just to like
Chill.
meet up with to meet up with Lai after it's over. And I'd actually lean the latter, just on the off chance that it goes south. That way we're in a more actionable position.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm going to move you guys towards Amarissa's office then, because I feel like the goal is to get her permission to use her airship, so it launches from Amar Spire, the lighthouse. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Jumping over to the other two party members.
The
A-
fun squad.
Yeah, you all are going to catch a Marissa 15% before just the end of her office hours. Whatever that math boils down to. And
Okay.
Yeah.
climbing the and
Fashionably early.
yeah, this is Hope and Laya climbing the lighthouse into her office.
Hello.
There is just a little bit of like there's just a little bit of shuffling, talking to guards and stuff before you're finally let up, because the invitation, I believe, was to Easy and Krishna. No, it was to Laya. It was to Laya. Yeah.
It was Talia.
So yeah, you'd be let in, and you would catch a Marissa as she is on a lounge sofa, outlooking metal framed windows at the setting sun. Her legs are crossed, and she has a glass of wine poured as you all are led into her office. She turns and looks at you and says, "Come to take me up on my offer?"
I do a little curtsy, and I just
Me
said,
too.
well, before that, I think we have some business to discuss, and some facts probably to lay out on the table.
She's going to raise a finger and say, "Business ended a half hour ago." She gestures to the craft of wine.
But we have a whole 15%.
50% early.
Yeah.
She gestures her
Sorry,
hand.
that's out of
Um,
character.
No, you can say that if you want. She gestures her hand vaguely and says,
anything.
"You can make your point, but I've
Lovely.
I've been considering a lot today. Forgive me if I'm distant."
No, that makes sense. You have a lot on your plate. Speaking of the things on your plate, as far as I'm aware, one of your main goals is to make sure your city remains fairly unscathed in this upcoming. Well, let's just call it what it is. There's going to be a civil war, and it's coming very, very quickly. I won't play pretend and treat you as though you were
Marissa
unaware.
is gonna set down her cup and run her hands through her hair and say, "This alliance was a mistake, and we should have just stayed city-states looking out for ourselves. When my mom used to run this place, it was so much simpler. Of course, we lost all of the Tide Gate, but fuck, at least the coastal cities, things were simpler back then."
Yeah, I imagine so. This can't be good for you. From my perspective and the things I see, I do think that you're trying your best for your people. Unfortunately, this civil war is going to affect the people directly in this city, whether you like it or not. It is from your city that the weapon that was fired that could kill the judge appeared. It's in your city that the lone siren is hiding and trying to make a mark on the consummate.
I don't
In
think
your
she knows
city-
that.
I don't think she does either.
Yeah, she's gonna say the lone sirens here in the city.
I continue. It is in this city that the assassination plot was hatched, not by anyone, but by the people of your city. You're implicated beyond all doubt and reason, and honestly, had nothing to do with me.
The system doesn't have a deception check.
Oh no.
I'm not lying. That is true. All the things that I said had nothing to do with my intervention. This shit just happened to her.
Yeah.
You can make a contested roll, I
No,
guess.
no, it's fine.
Or
As Amorissa is in tipsy wine hours,
Okay.
it's wine o'clock.
she's gonna say, "You have to tell me how fucked everything is."
Everyone knows
I'm not-
1 o'clock is 15% before closing.
And I do apologize for that. I'm not trying to stress you out. I'm just trying to set the stage of what I see. But this is not no possibility and opportunity. With the involvement of all these creatures, there is a chance for the city to go back how it should be and rightfully under your rule as a separate city-state from the rest of Red Axe.
Yeah, and then we'd be fighting the demons. Let
You'd be
me
fighting
explain South Crest's position. Crimson Keep
Hmm?
is just a little more than a day and a half journey by road up the coast. If we rebel, if we succeed, if we give quarters to traitors, South Crest citizens are dying. South Crest is the front line that they fight on. If I capitulate to the consummate, sure, South Crest is the front line, but her damn demons do the fighting.
And you know what? Let me draw you a picture. In South Crest, 100% is the front line. But where do you think that weapon came from? Who made it? Have you figured that out?
You know what? I'll roll her a recall check as she says, my advisors tell me that, it was liberated from a Kalkin vault that was robbed a week ago.
The Kelkin vault that the judge went into earlier. So the Kelkin are part of this as well. Not only that, but their schematics have been distributed all over Red Axe, so multiple people can make it, and it can be forged in Barbador. The materials to continuously make these weapons, and that future for them has been secured. I don't need you to send your forces in the front line. That's not how I would like you to fight. All you need to do is tell me what they want of you.
She's going to say what they want. Technically, all of those forests and mountainside people fall under my role in the alliance. I would be their regional representation, but I've got no reason to seek to impose how they live their lives or what they do with their customs. I could care less for all of them. The alliance, the consummate, is focused on military might, keeping everybody in line and moving forward. She leaves that to each of the regional representatives. She wants assurances that the camps can exist in these places without wholesale slaughtering the people of those fields.
Of course.
Do
And
I organize the events getting all of these people into the city or relocated? I never wanted that damn camp in the first place.
that's kind of my point. Wherever these camps may be, and their supply lines from which you would know, you tell us. That's all I want from you.
Yeah, the airship.
You don't have to dirty your hands. You just have to let us be able to do it effectively.
You're suggesting treason.
Of course.
A little bit.
All the time.
She
Here's the muscle,
Well-
by the way.
shake her head and say, I will not be involved in working or planning against our consummate. I have my sentiments about the alliance, but as always, Southcrest will do the bare minimum to meet the requirements. I am ashamed that you would seek to undermine the unity of our nation and the pillars and foundations that it makes. I would get these reports as messages and as orders from Crimson Keep. They would come in small private vessels into Farport, and then would be escorted and delivered to me as a opportunity and a show of my magnanimity. I would be willing to hire one of your Wanderkin friends that are just so happy to dip their fingers into everything as
That makes you
a
mean to me.
delivery girl
Yeah.
to handle the messages. And I will teach them properly how to respect and work towards building our nation.
I think Laya will do a small bow and have the same smile that I imagine that she has, because everything she said is the opposite of what she meant.
Hmm.
And just recognizing that, it's I think that sounds very lovely.
Tell
I think it
Raster
sounds
to
like a
send me
good
someone who can
opportunity.
take an order.
Yeah. We'll try to make sure it's the complete opposite of Krishna.
I don't think she entirely knows who Krishna is.
No.
She does,
Yeah.
because
Oh wait, no, she does. Yeah.
He does.
she met her twice.
No, yeah, she knows, but I don't think she knows how rash Krishna is. She knows how
You
rash
see that
Perna
giant banner in the
'Cause she
sky
has-
over there?
is. She has mentioned Perna.
Yeah.
Marissa is going to pour herself another cup from her carafe and say, well, business hours are over. Does that conclude everything?
I think that this was a lovely conversation. So unfortunate that we couldn't come to an amendable situation with ourselves.
And I hope next time we meet that you have more patriotism for our great alliance.
Sure. Absolutely. And then I'll just
Sure,
follow up.
absolutely. I'll be Miss Super Patriot.
Yeah. Little do you know, I'm not even.
It's fine.
I don't even go here.
I think I just like elbow Hope on our way. I was like, see, look, that went really well.
I guess so. I don't think it came to any agreement.
Oh, absolutely
Oh.
not.
Oh.
Also,
Sorry,
I feel like I'm in the
caught
middle of
that
this.
tone.
I don't want to tell you things are different because I think it's better
I-
for you to do it.
I understand things aren't what they seem, but I don't understand the full implication of what I've been signed up for.
It's not you. It's going to be somebody from Raster. You have a different job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That all being said, technically she did give her consent. So let's go tell some pirates.
But did we get the airship?
we
and
did
I'll
not-
say, as you all are leaving Amor Spire, you're gonna come into, you're in a rendezvous with Easy and Krishna.
Oh, hey guys, how'd it go?
I mean, you know, decent. Like, they're not on board, but they're not off
I
board.
felt I should have kept my mouth shut for a little bit longer.
Okay, so I don't know what happened, but I'm going to assume that you were aggressive when you shouldn't be.
Actually, I kind of like the energy, because, Krishna kind of put the Krishna spin on my, my whole, patriotic rendition of, you know, concerted effort against the establishment.
And was that successful?
I told you, they're not on board, but they're not off board. Basically, Bassinet
They're
knows us too
being,
well, and Bassinet knows us too well, and knows that this is currently pretty half-assed, so we need to get it full-assed, and they'll probably get more on board.
Wait, who said this was half-assed?
There's
were.
4 of us, we have the blueprints to a super weapon, and basically no other support.
I think Laya
Yeah,
just, like,
honestly
pulled her-
speaking, it's a compliment to call this half.
I
We're
think
super fine pirates.
I think Laya just like kind of pulls her hair a little bit and just heavily sighs.
Hey, you
Why
signed
do
up for
think
this.
that's all
Alright, so
that
we
we
okay.
have?
Huh?
Why do you think that's all that we have?
I mean, like, I know we have, well, because added character, you haven't told us that you're part of a secret magic society.
No,
That
no,
has
no.
resources.
I'm not even mentioning that. I'm keeping this a character. I'm not.
Well, I mean, we
mentioning
have the
secret
pirates.
society.
I don't know how, like, I mean,
Well, easy. We have more than the pirates. Barbador is already at war, whether they not know it or not. So they
Yes,
are deep
but-
by default on
yeah,
our
but
side.
like, our problem
We
at
have-
that point with Barbador so much isn't like is the unification thing, right? You know, it's the Red Axe Alliance against like 6 disparate units of fuckwads. And we're trying
one
to
of those
band
things?
together to become one giant fuckwad.
Yeah, my point is, it's not the 4 of us, because you know you have Barbador, you have Farport, which we have most of Farport.
See, I would argue the point here though is that we don't have those. We might have Farport, you know, I'll give you that one. I discredited the Wonderkin.
Look, here's the great thing about war. It doesn't matter who are officially on the same side. All that matters is who's officially trying to kill each other.
I'm quoting that for my notes.
Those are the only 2 factors that matter in war, and Crimson Keep is trying to kill Barbador. Whether Barbador likes it or not, they're on our side.
Yeah, look, I get it, you know, like they're basically just fresh to be recruited. We just have to kind of airdrop in, headbutt a dwarf or 2, like we'll be fine.
And we have the Holy Siren, which is a whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, the ancient, horrible terror that's basically unstoppable. Just right there, chilling out, hanging out with us. We have that. Why do you think we're by ourselves? I've been full ass this whole time.
I would like to pan the camera to Savia, hunched over her desk, poking the little bubble ball of perfume that she took from Laya. Our unstoppable sea spirit. What is this and why is it smells so good. And then cut back to the party.
I've been going full ass this whole time, man.
Well, look. I just want to note that, like, yeah, it's like effort-wise, I'd say we're full ass. Actual coherent planning, yeah,
I just,
you know,
I
It's
I'll
just,
spot you a
Rat
fifth.
Act.
I'll spot you an
Coherent
extra
plan.
eighth. We're fifth eighth of an ass.
I'm just scared that we'll have like full knowledge about their military movements through.
Yeah, where do you think you got your eighth? Like, I just need to stress to you that this is still not a this is not a coherent unit, right? Like, we have targets, and those targets can become in the fold, but like, I still don't
We're
think this
not-
qualifies as.
We're not generals. We're fucking.
We're community organizers, and our community isn't organized.
The community is very organized. You're just not in charge.
I mean, the relative communities are organized. The whole, yeah, like, I don't get, like, I can't. Barbador is only with us in the sense that they're Barbador, and they're kind of always up to fight.
That's all you need. What more could you ask for?
I don't know, an actual conversation with them so that at least that energy is being aligned in ways that we, like, know about and, you know, maybe design?
You mean like the way they made the fucking demon killing weapon?
They didn't make it. It was
No, that's just where we were gonna forge it, because I know dwarves.
Yeah,
Ah,
it was
yeah.
the Ruby Alliance. The Ruby Alliance has been trying to undermine the Axe Alliance this whole time. But
Have
they
they
have been
defeated?
dealt with.
Yes.
Air quotes.
Look, if I am not in charge of them, they don't deserve to exist. All right.
Whoa.
All right, so we'll go kill him. Got it.
You guys did.
Oh,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
The
was
point
a-
you're making, yes, I agree.
Cut back to the party sinking like 120,000 C coins worth of investment from the Alliance
Yeah.
before they gave up. They lost 2 trade galleons here.
oh,
That did happen.
We killed their whole like head assassin guy. Like,
oh yeah.
in our
That's
Yeah.
like made war crimes.
Oh,
Got it.
Yeah, that's when the war crime started. I don't think Easy was there.
Okay, first of all, terrorism.
Works.
I don't think that's a war crime. I don't think that's a war crime. I think
Yeah,
terrorism.
no.
Can't commit
I
a
think-
war crime if there's no war. So in 3 days, I might commit some terrorism.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus,
right
we are
now-
technically nationless in this whole thing, so.
I am not nationless in this whole thing. I am a proud son of Red Axe.
I was gonna say like
I
I'm
was
pretty sure Easy
forged
is a
in the
very-
fires of Mount Mona Malima. Thank you very much.
I think Easy is a very patriotic Red Axe alliance member.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I have a home to go back to.
My home is my boat.
Hope's home is where the heart is, so you know she's always good.
Yeah.
It's just you.
Oh, Red Axe as well.
Alright.
I'm not from
well,
Red Axe.
If they're willing to listen to a plan, I'll begin sending some coded messages to them over the course. But we need to start making for Barbador quickly.
Well, what? So we tell the Shiver Spine pirates that it's fucking on, and then we get up in the airship and get out of town.
Yes, because technically I have consent.
Cool.
And that's-
Actually, I
We
guess
do?
everything you just told me, we have to stop in Farport first, right? Do you think
Yeah,
they'll let us
okay.
go both places?
it's on the
Maybe?
way.
Fair
I'll
enough.
See why they wouldn't.
How about we so somebody's gonna have to catch a Marissa and tell her that you want to use the airship.
I was about to say, we never actually asked for it.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
offered
I-
it, but nobody told her that you wanted it. So
I didn't think that we were going to be using the airship because it was going. If we used the airship to go to Barbador, it would directly implicate her.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe too. Of well, she doesn't want to show that she's supporting us. So if we took
Yeah.
the airship, we'd be like, oh hey, that's A Marissa's airship.
Well, she offered to take you to Farport,
Yes.
Okay.
for free.
Okay, just to drop us off. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
she.
I kind of didn't understand that. Okay.
Which,
Yeah, she wanted
Which-
you all to give a apology message to Raster and warn him
Yeah.
of what's coming.
I miss Raster. I would have
Yeah.
done that.
she asked us when we got there if we have accepted her offer. I said yes, but we have other business to talk to first. So we can get to Farport. It's just going to be on us from how to get to Farport to Barnor.
Barbador.
Barbador.
Yeah,
Barbador.
and that would be most of the journey as far as like if you went to Farport, then up the coast to Cliff's Watch, and up the mountain from Cliff's Watch into Barbador is significantly faster than trying to sail from South Crest to Cliff's Watch, or
Yes.
it's not
Absolutely.
faster than South Crest to Barbador via airship. But
Yeah. I will let Myra know of Marissa's interest in it to be non-public. So fly different flags, but do your pirate bit.
we'll do that
What?
next session. So what I want to do is I want to send one person to catch a Marissa and ask for the airship. Another to relay a message to the Shiverspine pirates. And then I think everybody else is boarding the airship, or is there anything else you have left to do in South Crest?
Nothing I have left to do in South Crest.
I'll
I
go
feel
get
like
the
I
Shiver
shouldn't be
Spine
the
Pirate.
one to go talk to A Marissa because I'm technically a wanted criminal.
I will send Hope to go to do it.
Okay.
Shiver Spine
And
Pirate.
if so I'll make note of that in my notes. If we want to roleplay those events, we can. Otherwise, we can fast forward through them and
I'm
And-
okay with fast forwarding through like talking to Myra and everything.
okay.
Ignore
yeah.
that I was here 10 minutes ago. I am a Wonder Kid at your disposal. Let me have the airship.
Yeah, so then that will be next session, traveling back to Farport and then moving out from the region. So let's answer our questions, and then we will end for the night. And I already know one of these questions is going to be a yes.
Okay.
Did any player express emotional vulnerability? I would say yes for Matt.
Oh,
Yeah, Krishna felt something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did any player rush to an act of heroism? I don't think this was that type of night.
No, not really.
Did any player make an inspiring sacrifice? Did any player solve a problem creatively?
I
think that's
tried
what
to.
would-
I don't know. Does it count that I proposed an under the table deal to use privateers to commit treason?
That's kind of their job.
True, but
you
I think
did
it's
remind
their
them
job to
of
figure
their
it-
job.
I would say not entirely, but you guys get so many halves of this question of yes, of creative solutions for tonight, that I'd be willing to say half of Easy's, half of Laya, half of Hope. Like,
I
that's
invented
enough of a yes
problem.
for this for me.
Almost.
Did any player make space for another player to contribute?
I'll let Krishna cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
Krishna cook. Unarguably, let Krishna
Okay.
cook.
So yeah,
After the watching of 2 previous sessions, now
we marked 3 experience for tonight.
Okay.
And then I updated on all of your sheets that experience updates at 15.
Yeah, 15.
If you're watching and stream, thank you for watching. Enjoy your night. You're free to hang out with us. Goodbye.